Hello everybody. I'll let the music go a little longer today. How's everyone doing? Welcome to Tuesday. Everybody's probably second least favorite day of the week. I guess it just depends on your week. Some people it might be their favorite day. I don't know. So, how's everybody doing today? I'm here. Guess I should see me. There I am. Here comes the test. Yes! RimWorld is there. Right there. Oh look, you can see. There it is. There's the edge of my camera. Ah. Pretend like I don't have a hand. So, as you can tell by the game on the screen behind me and the title, we are back to some RimWorld, the multiplayer. So I will be, I guess I should, I guess I kind of should probably bring my co-host in. I guess I can make it so that you can hear him. Say hello, Chalice Mike.
Oh man, I was listening to your stream and then I heard your voice. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello everybody.
That's what you get.
This is why when the radio hosts tell you to turn your radios down when you call in, do it.
Yeah, because you don't know what part they're going to be at, and you'll think they're at an entirely different part. And it gets even more disconcerting when they start talking to you, and then all of a sudden you hear yourself.
Yes, that is awkward.
Yeah.
It's funny how your brain just shuts down because it's like instant deja vu, but on an extreme level, your brain is just completely distracted from whatever you were thinking, and that repetition of thought happens.
Yes.
Ugh.
Just, it's really what happens when you multitask at anything.
Yeah.
So, trying to do multiple things, and you think you can do well on them all, but in reality, you're not really doing that well on any of them.
So I just survived a raid
On this map or on your game?
on this map.
Oh.
Well, I don't remember how long it's been. It looks like,
It's been 2 weeks since we played this thing.
but less than a day in game time.
Yeah, I
So
don't
this
think
guy's
much
been
time.
dead.
Not much time has passed.
Mm-mm.
So, we'll see. Oh yes, my Jane the Virgin themed stuff.
Oh, the names from the. I've never seen Jane the Virgin. I had to remember where that reference was from. It's your characters, your tune names.
Yep. Everyone's gonna be named after those characters. Oh, why thank you, Sharks.
Oh, why? Oh, why? Do I always want to yawn as soon as we start? Oh,
I don't know.
I was yawning beforehand. So is there?
I was gonna say that implies that at some point that you stop yawning.
Mm-hmm.
No, today we're just gonna play. I figure I've made you talk about enough serious stuff. So today we're just gonna play.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's something you feel that you need to talk about, but
I'm too mentally and emotionally tired to want to talk about anything.
how'd you sleep last night?
I woke up a few times. I slept, but it feels like I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but if it's just the PTSD and the hormonal fluctuations from that, then whatever. But if there's a more significant impact and my thyroid is involved, next month should be my follow-up.
Your follow-up with the VA?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yes. For testing thyroid levels.
Well, that's always a joy. I can't tell you how excited I am to hear that you have to deal with the VA.
Whatever.
Yeah, I have to actually send a message to my current psychiatrist because he renewed my prescription and didn't give me any refills. So, and my appointment to see him isn't until July.
Yeah.
So I have about a week's worth left. So I got to send him a message on the messaging system that we have to say, hey, thanks for refilling the thing because I did see somebody else so I could get this done, and you didn't renew it. So if you're gonna not let me see you until July, you might probably want to give me enough medicine to get to the next one.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's a thought.
There's a lot of, I don't know. I was gonna say there's a lot of issues, but there's a lot of issues dealing with things that are important in our lives, because it's just anytime you're dealing with another person, regardless of the context, there's issues. But when you're dealing with them about something that's important in your life, it goes from irritation to severe impact when something gets screwed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing to me how much I just simple things can stress me out now.
Mm-hmm.
And then when something major comes along, so yeah, it's always stressful. We had a issue with Zoe this weekend having a meltdown, and I mean, Art had to take a moment to separate herself from her feelings on the issue just to check on me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't like that she has to do that, but
It is what it is, though.
Yeah.
It's,
Well,
it's not the least nor the greatest of the vast list of life changes that are uncomfortable.
mm-mm. I never know, especially now because of the medicines I have to take. I never know when I go in and get on the scale what I'm going to see, and if it's my fault or if it's the medicine's fault. I just don't know. And the only reason I'm on these meds is because of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'd love to be able to go in and look at the scale and go, this is my fault. I did this. Well, maybe not really, but you know what I mean. So, anyway, so
but when my nose is stuck in a bucket of ice cream, I know whose fault it is.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that though. I don't have treats like that.
Yeah.
But to give you an idea, because some of it I think is our scale. But to give you an idea, if I were to take my scale at value, I gained 6 pounds in the past 40 hours.
Jeez.
Now, I'm thinking there's something off with the scale.
Yeah.
But my weight fluctuates up and down so much, and it's, I think, in part because of the thyroid.
Mm-hmm.
That's messed up now, and I'm not really sure. Yeah.
Well, the long-term hormonal imbalances from severe mental health disorders, the long-term hormonal balances. I was, when I was looking at the studies, there's a direct correlation to your thyroid just getting screwed up because of the, again, that long-term imbalance. It gets used to not knowing what the heck to expect from your brain.
And see, that would be nice if I could just figure out what to expect from my brain.
Huh. Oh.
So anyway, pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
Cough switch. For the streamers, unfortunately, Charles Mike had to hear me cough.
Oh, whatever. I don't care.
Well, I adjusted the noise gate on my thing to not catch sounds, but I'm pretty sure it caught me coughing. And I don't think that noise gate affects you. The noise gate just affects Streamlabs.
If it reaches the sensitivity threshold, it's allowed.
Yeah.
Although Discord, as
Does.
much as I dislike the bloatware that they've been adding in terms of their gaming platform,
I really hate that part. I really wish they had a light option where you could just say, I don't want to use your ecosystem to buy games. Can I please just have Discord the way it was?
Yeah. It's still one of the better current, because it changes from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
It still seems to be one of the better programs in terms of cutting out ambient noise.
Yeah. Well, I remember we used to do nothing but use Skype, and then Skype went to poop.
Well, before Skype, oh geez, what have I used?
TeamSpeak.
I used TeamSpeak for a while, Vent for a while, Xfire for a while.
Yeah, I've used Vent, TeamSpeak, Skype, and Discord. I may have used some others, but those are the main ones.
Yeah, it's just like you have to once in a while just take whatever program, and this applies to any kind of software. You have to take whatever program you're using to be like, all right, guys, what made you good before, in my eyes, is now completely BS. So
it's this thing where everyone wants to be everything for everybody, and they can't. The reason why people started using Discord was because it did one thing really well. And as soon as they start sacrificing that on the altar of get as many people into our ecosystem as possible so we can profit, the reason why people were using it is going to go out the window.
Sometimes it's throwing the dice in a gamble.
Yeah, it's a big
Amazon,
gamble.
For example, won that gamble.
Yes, but Amazon isn't running a voice server thing.
No. There's also Americans, and not having, other than a war zone, not having lived overseas besides America. I'm not familiar enough with other industrial cultures, or I guess tech cultures.
Mm-hmm.
We're way past industrial at this point.
First world.
Yeah, first first world. Well, even then, first world isn't.
Shall we get the game going while we talk?
Sure. Sorry, I thought you'd already unpaused.
No.
In American businesses, the idea of get to the place where you're comfortable in providing what your customers want, and if you don't continue growing, you're stagnating, and that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like American businesses, you can't just find their happy medium. As a company, it's if you're not growing, if you're not even if you're growing but you're not meeting the threshold of expectation, it's still considered failing.
Expectation, it's the killer of things. It really is, because once people start to expect something and then you stop delivering it, it doesn't matter if you're the customer or the business side of the business or the executive or the person who's running it. Once you start expecting something, the instant you stop delivering it, you've failed to meet that expectation. And there are businesses who cannot operate at all in a place where any expectation is not met.
Yeah.
And those businesses fail.
Growth is a business expectation.
Yes, constant growth. So for Discord, that would be getting more people into their ecosystem, right?
Yep.
So
rather than just providing a service to the people who need this service and want this service,
yeah, and perfecting it,
this service well.
Yeah, providing the top quality of that. They're like, how can we get more and more people in there? Well, who is your audience? Your audience is gamers. Well, let's provide a way for gamers to get what they want, to do what they want to do inside our ecosystem. Like, okay, well, you would have been smarter partnering. It's look at Steam. Steam has their own voice service. Nobody uses it because it's garbage.
Yeah. And then the broadcast service, the only time people use the Steam broadcast service is very niche circumstances, like you pulling mine up because I don't stream.
You don't stream, and I can listen to the game. Like the ambient game sounds are extremely relaxing to me, and for some reason focusing. Even when he has raids happen, he's not talking to me. He's not talking at all. So it doesn't create a distraction for me. So that your
brain can separate out everything that happens as irrelevant.
Yeah, even if I set it at a really low volume, so like if I'm watching a stream of somebody who's playing RimWorld, even if I set it at a very low volume, I can still hear them talking because I can't differentiate between the game sound and the voice sound. And I've always wished this was something Twitch could give us, the viewers, control over, like separate volume streams for the person speaking versus the game sound. Because there are times when I don't really need to hear the person, but I really want to hear their game.
And all it would take would be the Streamlabs or whatever service. Well, it would take Twitch ingesting it, but having multiple tracks. The audio's not being combined when it's when it's broadcast out.
Yeah.
But have it be ingested as separate tracks.
And they already made it so that it used to be you could go into a stream and you could press mute and just leave it running, and you would count as a lurking viewer. Well, Twitch changed that. If you click the mute thing inside their little player, so what it would be, if you've got my thing maximized, it's going to be way over there on the left of your screen. Bottom left corner is usually where it is. If you click that, even if you have the stream open on your screen playing, you no longer count as a viewer.
I never have audio playing for Twitch. I always mute.
Yeah. So in order to not have that happen, I've had to resort to other things. Chrome used to have a function where we could mute a specific tab. Well, for some reason, they decided to take that out and mute the entire site. So, okay, fine, great. Now it doesn't matter which page I go to on a site, I'm not going to have to listen to anything. So that eliminates the overpowering, stupid, audio ads that autoplay, even though you have everything set to not allow it to play. Because there are these people that exist whose sole purpose is to figure out how to get around all of the ways that you are telling them we don't want to hear your content. So, yeah, I've had to add extensions into Chrome that allow me to mute a tab specifically. And one of the best extensions I found was the ability to tell a specific tab in Chrome to go to a different sound card. That has been wonderful for me because I can actually send I can have my speakers on and have all of my sound coming through my USB here microphone for when I'm working. Then I can send, say, Cellist Mike in this. Obviously, I could already do that with Discord, but in Twitch, I could put someone on the speakers at a low volume. So now they're no longer in my ears; they're down here. And so when I lift my foot off of the pedal and I no longer hear the sound, I can hear them while I'm, say, researching. It's like maybe then I don't care if I hear them. They're not really that distracting. You know, occasionally I may look over just to see what they're doing, but it's not, the volume is separated from my ears, so I'm able to work with it better. But yeah, I would love if Twitch integrated something that would allow us to create separate audio tracks for the streamer, their voice, and stuff that they send from say Streamlabs, and the game sound.
But again, it all comes back to profit, and they want commercials audio. They're
that's
de-incentivizing anybody supporting viewers who don't listen, because if you don't listen, you're only getting part of the advertising, and the advertising is where their revenue comes in.
Yeah, but I think they impressions don't. It doesn't matter if you hear them or not. An impression is, did the ad play? And so they've started forcing ads into certain channels. Actually, they've been forcing ads into most people's channels. Some of the partnered.
Like the Pixel Sharks, where I have the Amazon account linked.
Yeah,
I'll still get commercials.
Yeah, it's because I'm not a partner and I can't set it for subscribers to not get it. And even then, there are times when I was in a streamer the other day. I think it was FG Squared. She was actually quite upset when she found out that people were potentially hearing ads on her thing when she had set it so that subscribers wouldn't hear it. And I actually haven't noticed. I haven't actually noticed an ad since she pointed that out. So I think she's figured that out, that subscribers to a specific channel will get it. But I don't think Twitch Prime subs count for that. They've just created all these little layers to try to get you to actually pay extra money.
Yeah, it's like
to avoid those things.
Yeah. But again, to me, advertising is a necessary devil.
I get that it's a necessary devil, but I have yet to see an ad making company figure me out. So okay, so like this game, here's an example, a small example. The Jurassic World game that I play. Every now and then they'll offer me the opportunity to get an incubator in return, quickly in return for watching an ad, right?
Yeah.
Well, I would rather pay the 3 little in-game cash thing. I would rather pay that, but there are times when I need that slot empty and they just don't give me a choice. Anytime that happens, I make a point. I very much make a point of setting my phone face down the instant the ad starts, and I do not pick it up until I know the ad is done. Because I know that Apple can tell those things. Because if it's sensitive enough to know when I'm flipping it on its side so it changes the screen or other things like that, then I guarantee you it knows if I'm looking at the screen when an ad is playing versus I put it down flat on the table.
Yeah.
And if the advertisers are willing to purchase that data from Apple, I want them to know right away that every single time they push one of those ads on me, I'm turning it off.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them. I get that they're a necessary evil, but advertising has been a miss for me for 2 decades now.
Yeah, up until the personalized algorithms started really being adopted, advertising was completely irrelevant to me. Just like you were saying.
Even now.
And a couple times in the past few years where I have purchased based off of something I would have been unaware of from advertising. But in general, if you're the type of person who just doesn't buy generally outside necessity or functional benefit, what difference does it make? It's giving you an awareness of something that might be nice or you might be interested in, but you wouldn't buy regardless.
I'm actually less likely to buy something if I see an ad for it. I am the
If I
exact
see-
opposite.
If I'm swamped with ads for something, then I'll be.
Oh, that's even worse. That's I will go out of my way to make sure that I don't ever buy their product. I like if I can avoid it, I will never ever ever allow myself to pay for purchase medicine that I see an advertisement for, because I hate their advertisements. They are the worst.
Medicine advertisements is so rough. Just the concept of healthcare for profit is so rough for me.
Well, I'm not going to begrudge a company needing to make money. It's the whole reason that we don't like, the whole reason we see ads is because someone's trying to pay for the money that is trying to pay for the content that they paid to produce. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I just think that. Hi, Mao. I don't think advertising and medical companies have figured out. Because, I mean, think about it. As soon as I say the words medicine advertisement, you can't, it doesn't matter what the medicine is, you can't think of it, but you know exactly what kind of commercial I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Hey, Mal, thanks for that follow. Yeah, appreciate it. Welcome to our multiplayer colony. We're playing a split colony. Well, if I go to the world, I'm gonna have to generate it for a second, but we landed this colony and we split it in half. I went left, he went right. We didn't like where we were, so we traded. Like, we didn't trade the people. We took the people that we took with us and all of our stuff and just traded spots. So as soon as the map generates, I'll show you. So yeah, we landed right there, immediately abandoned it, and landed left and right. I'm on the right, he's on the left.
Speaking of...
That's not what I wanted. So,
pause it for a second.
This is my colony right here. And this is his colony up here.
As soon as I get a little bit of food cooked,
I
will send one of my people over with 3 parkas.
Oh, thank you. Yes, because
I just finished the 3rd one.
Yeah. Yeah, I already had to borrow one of his people to build me some stuff. So, and obviously we have the advantage of if something hits one tile and it's going to be there a while and it doesn't hit the other one, we could abandon this one for a little while and then come back later. No, we're not using Toolkit. Toolkit and multiplayer do not play nice. They just they desync instantly because Toolkit messes with all the map events, and anything that messes with the map events causes desync. So
we definitely explored it as an option because that would be freaking awesome.
I mean, literally, the instant we hit on pause, the game desynced. So, as it is, we do still sometimes experience desync. Some of it is just, it's the nature of the beast, trying to keep 3 different instances of the game perfectly matched. So, and having mods kind of, depending on what the mod does, it can encourage that. So we've been very careful distilling down the mods that we use on the multiplayer. So, but essentially we're the same colony, so like we can't compete against each other. We can actually just help each other. So, and this is where I am, on a river, up against a mountain. And he's up here, on another river, but not necessarily in the mountain. He liked this map because he didn't care about all these buddies right here. He got one, and there's another, and there's another. I think you have 4, don't you? He's got.
Yeah, I think there was 4.
He's got 3. I think I've got 1 way up here. I think I did everything I could do in my colony. I'm going to start. Any mods you recommend? Well, Camera Plus, especially if you're going to stream, because this being able to go really close in like this is nice. You can go really far out.
Invisible conduits?
Yes.
Invisible power conduits?
Because you can't see them. See, you can't see them. Not just because they're not just because we bury them under walls. They're just not there. I recommend something that will allow you to mess with the stack size, because the vanilla stack sizes can be really frustrating.
Oh my word! I mean, you'd have to clear out an entire vanilla. You have to clear out entire swaths of land just for storage.
Just for storage. So something like Stack XL or Ogre Stack, where you can go in and just set your stacks to be really high, and then you don't have to worry about having so much space for storage. That's another I like ceiling lights, but that's... I mean, if we're just talking about absolutely... The vegetable garden stuff is nice, but what we found is that this stuff right here, the rice grows quickly, but corn is honestly the one you really want to be growing.
Yeah, even with the vegetable mods, corn is
Still the bot.
functionally the best crop.
There's a mod that allows you to harvest mature plants and cut plated plants, just like a tool where you can just like click and select. I highly recommend that one.
Oh, and you know my favorite.
Oh, which one is your? Oh, the harvest. Huh?
Post-mortem.
Post-mortem operations. Yes, he likes post-mortem operations because he doesn't like wasting bodies.
Well, and it pisses your colonists off if you kill somebody.
Yes. Yes, but if you have, and that, well, the one that trains the medical training table, that's nice too, because then you can all the corpses that you can't do the harvesting on. So say this guy right here, I'm not going to be able to use him for anything. Even if I could bury him in the ground now with the metatrain table, I could go dig him up later. That's not.
Oh, dude, we could take this.
Didn't like whole. Yeah, that metatrain thing would allow that thing to us to pull it up and do autopsies on it and gain medical training skills. So that's a nice one to have. There was another one I was thinking of, but I can't remember.
Running the cannibal colony, you don't even need the metatrain table.
Ugh, you and your cannibal colonies. Yeah, I'm not sure why I decided to block that one. That's like a whole.
Oh.
Yeah, it's because it should be killing people got, it should be W on there.
I thought you were saying asshole.
Yes.
But not really.
There was another one I was just going to suggest. I can't remember what it was. It was when we were talking about harvesting.
But in terms of like the critical ones, it's the power lines, like the invisible power lines, storage.
Something that allows you to create increase. Oh, no, I know what I was going to say. It's him. You're going to put the hygiene mod in there. Vegetable garden is nice because it can add some things, but honestly, most of the stuff is you just want to be able to say you're gardening it. There are a couple things in there that are nice, but the hygiene mod, this is very important. Make sure you understand the settings, because everything will have hygiene issues if you don't set it just right. All of your animals, all of your prisoners, all of your colonists, and if you don't have things set up prior to, they get into a bad mood, and I'm not sure what it'll do to animals, but prisoners are more likely to riot, and your colonists will be much more difficult to manage until you get it all set up right, because they're just going to defecate everywhere. They'll wash in the river. They'll pee places until you build them a functioning thing. And I would use on the hygiene mod where it explains that, where it has he has the picture. Yeah, they'll do that. It's just a thing that they'll do when they're taking care of themselves. If you have them set to do anything, they'll wash themselves. On the mod page, he has a picture of a functional hygiene system, a sewage water system that's not powered. All it uses is wind power. The idea that he shows in that picture there, because you can make it powered, but if you look at the picture now, he has it set up. Everything's explained there, and you'll have it all worked out. I spent an entire stream one time just trying to get that system functioning. It was annoying.
Oh, my side. Visitors.
You have visitors?
Yeah, so vegetable garden is a suite. It's a whole set of mods, with one being kind of like the primary mod.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of just mix and match on which parts you want.
The colonists like the tea and the coffee and the fruit juice that it adds. They love that stuff because it serves as recreation also. It doesn't...
Without having to worry about the addiction and berserk.
The haul it mod, was it pick up and haul it? That's a good one.
Pick up and haul. My god.
Pick up and haul, because what pick up and haul does is they will gather much more. So all these things right here, without it,
run back one at they grab them one at a time.
Yeah, whatever the max stack is, like 25 for something, or 30. All right, or I think actually 50 is the max. Pick up and haul. I think actually, I don't know if it's updated. I have a significant portion of them are on there, but that's not the list that we're using. for the multiplayer because they cause desync issues. If you want a multiplayer specific list, I have a different link for that. And it's not mine, it's the people who developed the mod. They made it.
Oh, the other problem with multiplayer is you notice that we have not sped up past just the base speed.
Yeah. Slow speed.
You can't go fast.
If you go fast, if you go fast at all, it will definitely break and desync. It breaks and desyncs. Well, thank you, Guthronbot. Yes, we are raising money for Extra Life. You can find out more at that link. And you can see by the counter at the top of the screen up there, I'm approaching 40%.
That'll definitely pick up as soon as we get closer to Extra Life.
Yeah, I have a couple of donors that usually wait until like September to donate.
I usually wait until near to start pulling money in. But that's because I am lazy.
So yeah, Chalice Mike has a love-hate relationship with mods. He would rather they not be. He would rather they just be part of the game, because then they would get updated correctly instead of having to deal with updating them and correcting them yourself when the game gets updated. I need you to cut some trees down, like right now, because yeah, you too. You're not assigned to plant cutting. Of course, you're not assigned to plant cutting. Michael, who's asleep. I guess I'll let you sleep. Now, normally, because you spoke up in chat, we could name a pawn after you, but if that's going to happen, Charles Mike's going to have to do it because my colony's got a theme to it, and so I've got my names already all picked out. Plus,
we weren't doing that in this round.
Not generally in this one. I was going to say you can, but just in case anybody's watching and wondering, because normally when someone speaks up in chat, we're like, hey, we have a pawn that's here that needs a name.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, these are the 6. We have 7 colonists. Michael, Jane, Rose, Verana, Blackfell, and Squirt are the colonists we started with. This Rogelio just joined. I changed his name. And I said it at the beginning, but I'm not going to say it again. If you can figure out the theme, more power to you.
I would never have got it because I've never seen it.
Yep. I told my wife, and she cracked up. Of course, her first thought was, has anybody actually figured it out? Like, no, not yet. But it's not like it's been a big secret. Did you cut the...
guy I'm sending over to you with the parkas is still sleeping.
That's fine. Well, I wish you luck.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I moved RimWorld I moved my entire Steam library to its own SSD. My operating system is on one SSD. This one is on a separate one. I've noticed. I think the game is a little quicker at some things. Yeah, it is. I think it is. There are still some issues. Did you pause it?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm setting up my
your caravan? Okay, yeah. I think there are some issues still, and I think it's more just a matter of the limitations of the game engine itself. Loading, I think the game does load faster, yes, but it's still connected heavily to your mods. The more mods you have, the more it's going to take up, and then the more things you have happening on the game itself. I have watched RimWorld players who don't stream from the same computer, so they're streaming from a separate computer, so they don't have to deal with any of that nonsense. So the streaming software is running on a different one, so their gaming computer can focus on what it's doing, gaming. And they've got beefy computers, and RimWorld gets to a point where you've just got so many colonies and so many colonists and so many things going on that the game just can't handle it at a higher frame rate. It just automatically just starts tweaking things down. I mean, for an example, the game has built into the code, if fires start overwhelming the map, the game will automatically trigger rain to reduce the load on the CPU. So as long as if you have fires break out, as long as they're not threatening your base or your crops or anything, you could technically just let them go. You're going to lose.
Started doing altogether, yeah.
Yeah, because the rain will come. And it's like, well, isn't that kind of cheaty by the game to do that? No, not really. It's kind of smart because one, you're saving the CPU, keeping the game more functional, and two, it's kind of what happens. Forest fires irritate the sky, cause rain, which cause lightning, which cause forest fires, and it's a nice vicious cycle. So I didn't actually get a chance to look at your mod list for our upcoming once I launch the ship from our hot potato. I have to look at your list and see. Yeah, if you weren't here yesterday, Chelsea, Mike, and I have been playing a single player game where we pass the save back and forth in conjunction with the hot potato challenge, which I don't remember, do I? Could have sworn I had. I don't remember. Yes, when you get a lot of things coming after you, it definitely does get to be a little overwhelming. Oh, Jane's doing that. See, without the pickup and haul, Jane would not be able to pick all this stuff up by herself. Just would not happen.
Just grab one thing.
Like one stack. Oh, Rose.
Or if it's a piece of clothing or a weapon or something, it's just one.
Yeah. Here, Michael, go cut some trees.
Oh, you have a prisoner whose resistance attempts are busted.
Yay! We have a new.
So you needed another parka. Will you be able to?
I think I can. I think I should be able to make. I've got lots of leather, so I can put it in the queue and see. Yeah. Yeah. I need to get Rose back out hunting again. Let's see, what do we have for wildlife?
And I can send you some.
Oh,
I have
Rim HUD. You should definitely get Rim HUD. If you want to talk about mods that are...
That's definitely a quality of life.
Like, that's... And if you want to know what Rim HUD is, it's that thing right here. Putting all this stuff on one screen right here so you can see all their skill and all these quick button access, things like that. There's the only function that we can't use in multiplayer is the self-tint, because it causes desyncs. But that's a simple little... Don't use it. Okay, good, you got it. I know there's another one that puts a box up here that has a slightly different information. Spartan Stew uses that one, but he also has the Rim HUD, so I don't know what the difference is, and I hadn't taken the time to look it up. So wildlife. I also like the hospitality one. I like being able to tell my guests where to go. Those are wild boars. Okay. Rose is sleeping. Yeah, I should be able to... Jane, let's put that leather. Put that leather away. Yeah, see, she's picking up 2 different stacks of steel, a granite chunk, I think it's granite, yeah, granite chunk, and leather to carry. So now, Rose, where are you? Oh, still need material. What do we need? So we have light leather. What did I make it out of? I should look at the bill. Details. Oh, what's that one that allows us to build multiple things? Yeah, anything like that. I can't remember. The thing that allows you to... Simply bulk crafting and crusty textiles. I like both of those.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many mods out there that are helpful, that are nice, that are good, but the ones that are like almost necessities.
I don't really I would say simply bulk crafting is one. Being able to build to make 10 meals at a time as opposed to one.
Yeah, but so like for the hot potato, I didn't really have a problem keeping up with meals.
I did.
Aggravating, but it's
I did. I had to definitely shuffle around some of the management of the what people were doing. But I also I very much missed being able to just remove taint and repair people's clothing, which is something that I think should be, I mean, just frankly, that should be a part of vanilla. So, I mean, I've experimented with a lot of mods in this game. And I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of creating this idea, this list in my head of what mods I think should be a part of the game. Most of them are UI interface things, or some little basic things like that, like being able to repair your clothing. That's, for me, that just makes sense, that you should be able to repair your clothing. Yeah, if you can, exactly, Mao's like, if you can sew clothes, then you should be able to repair. You shouldn't have to have a mending mod to mend clothing. I don't understand why that's not. And honestly, I think the answer to that question is self-explanatory. The developer hasn't put it in the game because a mod exists to do it. That functions perfectly fine. So,
yeah, if the game is intended to incorporate mods and essentially be what you want it to be, then
yeah, and he said, yeah, he said, like, if you go back and look at his Kickstarter on the game, he said that he always intended this to be a game that was developed by the community. Is that on your side? Yeah, it's not. It's on mine.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's on my side. Shadow and Dawn. Oh, did I actually... am I actually recruiting her now? Yeah, I am recruiting her. I'm going to convert her room into a non-prison room as soon as she converts over, and give her some clothes. He does. He did, going through the development stages before releasing 1.0 last year. He did, indeed. Hey, Squirt, welcome back. Weren't you here before? I don't know what he's doing.
I'm making a zone.
Oh, you paused.
Get rid of. I did.
Yeah.
I'm making a zone in your area that I'll get rid of when we're done. This is just how I unload stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Unless you want to keep it, then otherwise I'll delete it.
Yeah, I haven't ever actually put Giddy up in. It's just most of the time, except with a few exceptions, like say when you're being hunted by a Thrumbo. Most of the time, I haven't had the need for it. There are times though when I could see the benefit, like when I was defending the colony the other day, against the siege and the smart raid that surrounded me. But I kind of like.
Otis to build while he's, or Squirt to build while he's here.
What can he build?
No, I'm asking if you have stuff that you want him to build. Generally, stuff that's going to have a failure chance, or like furniture.
Probably another battery. I'm looking at production. So I've got the stonecutter's table. We haven't done. I got the stove.
He's trying to recruit your person.
Let him.
Yeah. I don't know if his social is as high as yours.
Well, most everybody else in my colony is sleeping right now, so.
Oh, yeah, your Rogelio has a higher social.
Rogelio. I don't know. I honestly don't know. In terms of building things? I mean, if you think there's something...
Well, you said batteries, so he's starting on a battery.
Yeah, battery's fine.
You were talking about needing a new room. I could build the furniture for it.
Yeah, if you want to make a bed, you can put it right there in the room that he's in.
You don't have any wood.
No, I know. Everybody's sleeping. Michael is...
Just in general, you don't have wood, so if you want, I can make it out of granite. I don't want to. You don't have a lot of resources, but I don't really want to waste your resources.
Yeah, I'm about to say, the only thing I did have in abundance was steel. And we were using it. I need to put Michael on plant cutting. he is on plant cutting. Why is it? Oh, he just isn't.
Yeah, but is there anything else that he's going to do before he ever goes to do plant cutting?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Yeah, clean. Everybody's set to do cleaning before they do anything else. So I'll make him, because I have lots of trees up here that I marked for it, but.
And that's one of the.
And I needed the wood. I needed the wood already, but Jane was taking her time doing it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. What?
I was going to say, with having the clean turned on, I'll have to turn people off of it every once in a while if that's being distracting, and then just remember to bring them back on.
Mm-hmm. Do.
Oh, you're still cooking on a fire.
I don't know why she's cooking on a fire. It's probably because... Oh, no, it's because the power was out.
Oh.
So I'll let her finish that one, and then I'll clear the... I'll just suspend it for right now. The main reason that the fire was there... New recruit, yay! Okay, so let's change this to... Set that as task as bed for now. And let's give Squirt a spot to sleep. So he can at least sleep. There.
Don't wake him up, though. He's already sleeping. Oh.
I already did.
Butthole.
He went to feed himself, because that was more important.
No, but then he'll get the... If you woke him up, he gets the disturbed sleep.
Well, he's feeling indifferent. He apparently has some kind of health issue. Oh, that's right. Oh man, if I catch fibrous mechanites, I don't have the medicine to take care of that.
I have yet to see any diseases in this game be communicable.
Yet. Key. Yet. Here, move that stuff. Put it where it belongs. Saving. Oh. Oh. Welcome back. Did you get your world created? I need to put down some more power lines. And then put in a ceiling light. That's not what to do. Come here, you. Oh, it's because there's no power running to them yet. Remember, all got a black screen. I'm scared. Yay, it opened. Well, I'm glad it opened too. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Okay, who's my miner? Jane and Rose. Jane, mine some steel. Rose is butchering, getting us more leather. And meat. Michael's decided it's time to meditate. For some reason, there's milk way out there. I really wish they would bring the animals back. Or if you're going to go to the trouble of shearing them slash milking them, they'd bring it back. Maybe that's just me. But I think that should be a requirement.
Why is Squirt relaxing socially in Tasca's bedroom?
Because there's a fire there, and they'll relax socially wherever there's a fire.
Yeah.
Rivers are cool, and they're also great for defense and power. Which Have we researched that yet? That's another thing about this split colony thing, is that we're sharing research. We have. Need to pick a spot. Where should I put one? I mean, I could clear out right here and put one right there. Or right here, then I'll mess my bedroom plan up.
Oh, yay.
Now we get to decide.
Yeah, we do have water mills.
So now what?
Um,
Mending?
I'd like geothermal, but we don't need it necessarily.
Do I even have a geothermal near me?
I don't know. I mean, how often do you use geothermal?
When I can finally do it, I do. But there's one way up to the north. It would be within the range of the. I see at least 2, but they're so far away. There's 3, 4, but there's none near me. So it would be an endeavor to get to them.
I mean, that's generally the case.
Yeah. But I mean, in terms of prioritizing getting geothermal right now, I would say
that. What I mean is, I want to prioritize geothermal unless you have something that you think is more important first. So for me, it's the next priority. That doesn't mean it is for you.
Well, the fact that we're sharing research it's not as big a hit. I'm just waiting to go for those big ones as, right up the bat.
Well, see, I wouldn't even have done watermill generator. Except I knew that you wanted it.
Well, yeah, because I'm right on a river. For me, it makes sense. So if we can do geothermal, I was just going to suggest something like mending, or obviously hydroponics isn't as big a deal with indoor farming.
See, and I never do hydroponics.
Yeah, I don't now anymore. I don't either. But so yeah, that's what we do. Mending.
As you're getting input.
Yeah.
I want geothermal.
Well, then why don't we do mending first and then geothermal? Because now that I have these parkas, I don't want to lose them. Now I'm finally starting the colony for real. Did you use prepare landing or prepare carefully? So you get nice. Apparently, Squirt's getting medical care by Rogelio.
Yeah,
poor guy.
Fibrous mechanites.
100% quality tint. Way to go, Rogelio. You know what else? What else I should build? Build some chairs. No, that's not what I wanted. So that the people who are working aren't standing while they work. See, the trade-off I do with prepare carefully is that's the only time that I have any say or control over what colonists are coming at me with, right? But the flip side is, from that point forward, I have to take what comes my way as far as colonists are concerned. I can't reject them. That's the trade-off. So sure, I can be really nice to myself with the initial, say, 3 or 4 that I get, but after that, I'm stuck with whatever Cassie or whatever decides to throw at me. So bring on the pyros, bring on the misogynists, the misanderists, the lechers, all that stuff. I actually saw someone today have someone kind of as like a wanderer joins or something. You should always do democracy. What are you talking about? Let the people choose. Because think about the mood debuff if they're under a dictatorship. I'm pretty sure that's going to include it for the colony leadership mod. That's where the classrooms come from.
Is only allow cannibals.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, until you realize that there aren't that many cannibals in the world and you started by yourself, and it takes you how many days to finally get any more colonists, and then your colony wipes when one attack comes?
A couple years.
Yeah. If you're gonna do a cannibal only, that's an interesting one. Whoa.
It was fun. It was was definitely fun.
Stupid. Sorry. It just deleted all.
Deleted what?
Just deleted all of his messages from my my Twitch window here because it's like, because he typed in. I didn't think that Hoover would be so big. Yeah, a huge river is massive. Try not to yell though, because Guthrunbot's a bit of a communist. If you want to meet a dictator, Guthrunbot's a dictator. But yeah, if you're gonna do a cannibal colony is interesting, entertaining. But if you're going to do that, then you should probably start with more than one. Just saying. Because there aren't that many cannibals in the game.
It was quite frustrating to, I would be careful to try not to kill anybody that attacked me who was a cannibal, because I wanted to take a prisoner and recruit them.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so hard to try not killing people that are attacking.
But yeah, in case you didn't, now you know, huge rivers are indeed very huge. Oh, hey, I didn't even... Ha 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 ha. I didn't even look to see. Tasca, we have a theme. Construction 5, and she's got a burn on it, so she will. Abrasive, trigger happy, and aesthetic. And she's aesthetic. So, I know who I'm going to name. I know what I'm going to name her. There we go.
Prosthetic arms, I don't really care. I mean, that's nice if we lose an arm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unnecessary.
I haven't used that mod.
Too bad.
Squirt's awake. Feed yourself, Squirt. Feed yourself. Okay, so her skills. She's not really great at anything. But she can do plant cutting. 7. Michael's an 8. So.
Dude, Squirt, you're not here to party.
He's bound and determined to have some fun. It's like, I will have fun. You will not stop me.
Abuela?
Abuela. It's what they call it's Spanish for grandmother, I think.
Yeah.
So. Who's throwing a party?
Abuela.
Apparently she's decided that converting to the colony is worth the fun. I don't know. My service dog is dreaming. I wonder what Groot is dreaming of.
Alright, I'm sending Squirt home.
Yep, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye. Don't forget your animal.
Oh, no. Otis.
I would base it on how much defense you have. Like when you're looking at the terrain around you, what does the terrain give you in terms of defending yourself? Yeah, everybody say goodbye to Squirt. I actually forget the character's name, like actual name, because Abuela is just what they call her. I know she has a name, but I forget it now. So, get to work on the colony. You can party later. I mean, think about it. You are the party. Look, the party goes wherever you are.
Get this party started.
It's an old bathroom. You might not want to use that old bathroom. Just saying. RNG. No one has ever been able to figure out the RNG.
Well, I mean, if technological progression has to go somewhere, why not sanitation? Maybe they're just better at toilets than anything else.
I'm building this this power conduit. It's proving complicated. Michael, no, just finish your job. Okay, fine. Eat. I think I was holding control when I was doing all that queuing. Oops, my mistake. Go build the ceiling light. Oh, I need to get everybody. I'm pausing it for a second. Oh, Abuela, you're not a night owl. You don't get the nicety of the sleep schedule. There it is. Assign your outfits. So, which one is it that overrides the parka? The jacket or the vest?
The flak jacket.
Okay, so no vests and no.
They should switch if the temperature requires it.
Well, yeah, but I'm just making sure that they have the winter one.
For winter. Gotcha.
Yeah. That's layer outer. So yeah, so you have to take the duster off also.
Well, they'll pick a parka over a duster anyway.
Yeah.
They'll pick a parka over dusters and over jackets.
Well, so you get that was your random pull. Lots and lots and lots of crafters.
That's very good late game.
It's very good late game.
Where you have to craft everything.
Okay, so Rose, can you make one yet? Still. What the blippity blip blip blip.
Make one what?
I'm just.
Oh, a parka.
Yeah. I need more.
Go kill some animals.
Abuela took her clothes off.
Good old Abuela, don't we love her?
Grandma, put your pants back on.
Exactly. But I pooped in them.
No. Ew. We don't have the hygiene mod. Oh my goodness, now she's completely naked. The woman is completely naked. She took all of her clothes off. Where
She's Abuela, dude. She's quirky.
What the what? No. You need to be wearing clothes. Get back in there and put some clothes on. Get back in there. Quit. No running around naked. This is not a nudist colony. There. I think everybody else has all the yeah, parka. Yeah, so I just need to make more.
Yeah.
That's all. So when Rose gets up, I'm gonna have her go out and hunt some animals. 5.5. Yeah, I have to put her on it because He's the only one who's not also really good at something else. Enjoy your colonist again.
There you go.
Yeah, a lot of mods have made a point of doing that. But the primary languages, there's some that they don't do that for. Yeah, well, and Dubs, his stuff is pretty mainstream. I think actually Dubs is one of the ones who's been modding since RimWorld first started on Kickstarter.
Oh, Flash Storm.
Lovely. You enjoy that.
Leave my coffee alone. Blackfell, why aren't you putting out fires? Have fires.
Squirt's just laying there.
Oh, crap. I
Crap,
forgot
crap.
that he came in here.
Uh-oh.
Jeez, man.
So he's got to dig his way through.
Yes.
You're gonna have to create some kind of gate system to get people through there and keep baddies out. It's your only hope. There's Muffalo. And more. Oh, there's a dead Muffalo. What is he doing here? Food! Let's go get that. Free meat! And more importantly, free leather. Actually, yeah. So, you know, the harvest one is a part of the vanilla thing. This one, harvest mature plants, allows it to go through and only select. Let's see if they just happen to all be ready to go. Not done yet. What is that? Oh, it's a cherry blossom. Abuela, go get the Muffalo. Work on the bridge, Michael. You can play later. That's just doesn't make sense. We'll build one of those. Oh, hey, look. They expanded the zone here. Smooth the floors for that free construction.
Oh, speaking of, I'm toggling. I just toggled the expand home zone with new construction off. I'm not sure if that'll do it. Oh, it did it for you. Good.
Cool. Well, yeah, because we're the same. But yeah, it did. Abuela drops the Muffalo down, and it wasn't sitting on the ground a minute. I mean, even well, less than like a second. And Rogelio grabbed it and started chopping it up. Get back to work, Rogelio. Hey, now we'll have enough. Do we need for this thing?
Sport, don't do that.
Do we need?
He just blocked himself out.
I only need one. no. I got a bunch of leather, just not enough to make a parka.
Yeah. They definitely take a lot.
Wildlife. What else do we have out here? Ooh, there's another turkey. There's some muffalo. So yeah, I want to go after the wild boar, but I'm afraid they'll attack me. Mine some steel here.
If you only have the person with the highest mix of shooting and animals, and you only have one thing prioritized to hunt at a time, you're usually pretty safe. It's like when somebody's doing a task near the animals, while the hunter's shooting at them, that is the most likely to cause a retaliation, because then you have proximity that you wouldn't normally have while hunting them.
Ah. Argotech parts. Well, Chalice Mike has dreams of making the Borg.
Yes. The cannibals could have been the Borg.
Could have been.
Speaking of, I've been watching. I'm nearly done with season 2 of Discovery.
Ah, yeah, we haven't even started it yet.
They haven't explicitly said anything about the Borg, but it really, really feels like that's what they're doing.
Even though the Borg predate Discovery.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Yep.
Because they made that clear in First Contact that they were sending a message, that they sent a message out
to the people that were there already.
Yep, to the Borg that were there already. That was the whole point of the thing.
Oh, something that really irritated me is a character referenced being like somebody being from the Prime universe.
Well, yeah, because they've actually the universes are aware of each other. The Mirror Universe and the Prime Universe.
Yes, but this character was from the Mirror Universe. Why would a character from the Mirror Universe be within their own, within being character?
I know, yeah, I know what you mean.
Why would they refer to the other place as Prime?
Because they're just trying to not confuse the audience. That is all it comes down to.
It felt wrong.
Yeah, but that's the only reason. Well, I've almost got my exterior wall around my rice farm done.
Do you remember in First Contact how long it was going to take for the message to get out?
A couple
into
of...
the Delta Quadrant?
No, but they established in Enterprise that the message that was sent then would take a couple of centuries to get there. And he made the comment of, so we basically just delayed what's happening until what, the 24th century? And that's about the time of the Borg. That's the time of TNG.
Yeah.
So, because Enterprise happens in the Enterprise happens in the 2140s.
Because the way that it's been portrayed so far in Discovery is, it isn't necessarily the Borg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's very reminiscent.
Well, because of what happened with First Contact, the Borg do exist in that universe.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't know, it's highly classified, the whole incident with the Borg on Enterprise. So
Yeah, but there's
how much discovery itself would know.
Well, they've been working a lot with Section 31, 30,
Yeah.
34, 31.
31, Section 31. And also, there's the whole what's it like in the mirror universe. In the mirror universe, they could do what they want. They could say that the existence of what became, what was I forget, the Alliance or whatever it was that was dominating the Deep Space Nine universe, the Terran Alliance, yeah.
Well,
that was basically started back when Kirk and Spock meddled with that universe.
Yeah.
And actually really honestly goes back to the original loss of the Defiant, which, like the first Defiant, the one that looked like the Enterprise, like the original Enterprise, which goes back to the 21st century, or the 22nd century.
I do really like that they brought Captain Pike in.
Yeah. Well, they had to. They couldn't bring Kirk in.
Well, no, gosh. I would have been a much, much bigger fan of the original series if it was that actor instead of what's his face, William Shatner, because I cannot, like, William Shatner breaks that show for me.
Yeah, I have tried to watch. I mean, I've seen every episode of the original series, but I've tried multiple times to watch it from beginning to end and just can't because the show is just so bad. I mean, if you look at TV,
I love the universe.
The premise, the universe is all great. There's nothing wrong with that.
I cannot stand
it was the execution. And Roddenberry himself said that TNG was what he wanted the original series to be, because he was able to finally do a lot of the things that he wanted to do with the concept, including things like holograms and stuff like that. That was a lot of people's biggest issue with Discovery, is them having holographic technology that they could interact with. Like, that didn't exist. It wasn't in the original series. There wasn't even mentioned. It's like baloney. Roddenberry himself talked about it, that there was an episode where they essentially tried to do that, but the filming technology of the 60s, the late 60s, just wasn't up to par. 15 years later, he was able to do that. And look at what they did. The very first episode of Next Generation features a holodeck. Roddenberry wanted that back then.
And it's not portrayed as a new technology by any stretch of the term.
No.
In fact, references to it say that it kind of came around the same time as transporter technology.
Yep. I've selected geothermal. So, well, and that's why you'll find amongst Trekkies, older Trekkies, not so much anymore, but older Trekkies, they will accept the Next Generation because Roddenberry created it, and they will kind of sort of say they're okay with Deep Space Nine because he was informed of the idea and said and approved it. But anything after that, they just completely reject. And even once Deep Space Nine starts, like we accept the premise of it, the idea of it, because deep space bases like that were a part of the original series and stuff like that. But once the show starts, they're done with it because for them it breaks everything that was Star Trek. Voyager, some of them will argue Voyager is at least better because it went back to what Star Trek was about.
The exploration side.
The exploration side of it, yeah, but that's where they draw the line. But yeah, the ones who are original series or nothing are, well, for one, they're a dying breed, and for another, they're just they're literally dying off, and for another, they're living with their heads in the cloud because even Roddenberry said, no, the original series is not what I wanted. It was what I was able to do. What I wanted to be able to do. Oh, I'm sorry, Jane, go back to bed. What I wanted to be able to do, I did with the Next Generation. And he was involved with the Next Generation for several years. Which
Deep Space Nine?
No, Gene Roddenberry.
I was gonna say, he was involved with Next Generation the whole time.
No, almost the entire time. I think it was just towards the end when he started to get sick, when he started to step away a little, but he was still heavily involved.
Deep Space Nine was already running.
Deep Space Nine started, like 2 years before Next Generation ended. So yeah, they overlap.
The episode where they, the Next Generation episode where they gave like the final farewell to Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was. I don't remember which one that was. Was it Unification or something like that?
I don't remember the episode. I just remember in the credits, like the opening credits, like the thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gene. A mental break after one day. Oops. Sorry, Mal. Cassie's mean. Okay, Rose, can you make one now? Nope. You're useless, Rose. Hope you didn't. No, because Rogelio would have butchered that stuff right away. So I hope you didn't kill that boar and then just leave it. To me, I like all of the Star Treks. They're all different for me. They're different takes on it. I personally have had no problem whatsoever with Discovery, because for me, I look at Discovery as a... Well, that's why you're getting a mental break one day in. Now, it's not necessarily that he's worse. It's just that you are more likely to get something hard at the very beginning with him than you are with Cassie. But the flip side of it is also true. You're more likely to get something extremely easy at the end of the game. Whereas with Cassie, you will never get anything easy at the end of the game. Everything will be colony breaking if you're not careful. Wildlife. Go hunt a rat. And another wild boar. Rose. Go hunt. Enough sky cloud gazing.
I'll be right back. I need to pour another cup of coffee.
Okay. Michael, what are you doing? Did you pause it? I think he did pause it. What time are we looking at? 14:05? We still got 30 minutes to go. I think it's just about time to plan a different crop for my indoor farm here. I think I want to shrink this down like so. Make this one corn. Corn. Stop it. There. So now I'll get corn right there. I need to also eventually have heel root. I mean, I'm gonna build a bigger farm eventually. And I think we have, no, we don't have that stuff in here to till the land. So I'm gonna build more farm, probably into this thing right here. Let's see, or cover this up. Once I can get a windmill, a watermill built. Can I build a watermill? Power. Where's the power? Give me the power. I can't put it here. Could put it right there. If I take that out. Put it right there. Or put it up in here. I think that's the part that needs to... I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the part that needs to be on the ground. Let's go over here and see. Yeah. Okay, so that's the part that needs to be on. Can't build it on that at all. Could build one over here. And then enclose it. That's a possibility. Right there.
Alright, sorry about that.
You're fine.
But yeah, so Discovery, except for what they did in season 1 with the Klingons in terms of looks and how they talk, I really like Discovery. Those Klingons were incredibly hard for me to swallow, though. It was just...
I didn't have as much of an issue with them because I've liked all of Star Trek's, and every series, if you look at them, every series they've changed. The change from the original series to Next Generation was the most
huge.
Sorry, and the change in their language, and that was Roddenberry doing that. He's the one that said we need to change them. They need to be gruffer, meaner, and need to be hard to understand. So the change to what Discovery did was what they did in Next Generation was what, again, the limitations of what they could do with a TV budget.
Yeah.
Discovery didn't have a TV budget. Discovery had a movie budget.
Season 1 had a movie budget. Season 2 has a TV budget.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to pay for it. Yeah, nobody wanted to pay. Like, how many people waited to do something like a free trial of CBS All Access and then watch it all real quick? See, I don't understand how CBS didn't predict this, how they didn't realize that was going to happen, that people were just going to wait until the next season came out. And then, or they did it with the first season too, just waited and just did a free trial and then binge watched everything in one day and then canceled their free trial. Mm-hmm. And then the next time they could just create another account and another account. I don't understand how I understand it's the executives didn't think. They just thought we'll put it behind a paywall and it's Star Trek and people will pay. And at first they were a little bit right, but then after the novelty wore off, the only people willing to stick around were probably people you already had in your ecosystem, if we're being completely honest.
The international market, the outside the US market, was through Netflix, and that the number of people that watched over Netflix was so far below the expectations that Netflix had expected
that they dropped it.
They dropped it like a hot rock.
Yeah, because they were
that money was gone.
Yeah, they were paying for that to be able to show that the day after.
Mm-hmm. What I was reading is it was a huge chunk of the overall total money toward the show.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix.
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
Just disappeared.
Well, CBS thought that they could bank on the Star Trek name to have the kind of support that something like Game of Thrones. That's what they wanted. They thought if they created it as rough and tough as they could, with a budget that like what Game of Thrones had, that they would have the same thing, not realizing that Star Trek doesn't have that current following that Game of Thrones has, and the following that they needed, that they were counting on, they misunderstood. Like they misplayed. They thought that, there's a lot of Trekkies who just said, no, we're not going to watch this. We're not going to pay to watch Star Trek when Star Trek has always been free on TV if we just watch their ads. Not going to pay extra. I'm going to find other ways to do it. So they banked on an audience being there that just refused to come. I mean, really. And then the current generation of people that Star Trek's been trying to reach to since the days of Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and then Enterprise, that generation, which is my generation, we're the ones who just basically looked at CBS, NBC, ABC, and all that group like that and said, screw you. We don't like your model. We're just going to cut the cord and be done with you. And we're not going to pay subscriptions to watch.
Right? Thunderstorm, bonded animal, everything.
Oh, Randy is really being rough on you, Mal.
Hey, at least you don't have anti-grain warheads yet.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
The moment
goodness.
you have a temper tantrum, go run at your anti-grain.
Oh, no, you mentioned it, and I gotta find the link and share it. Ugh, where is it?
I was thinking like, oh, hey, that's definitely a thing that you'll see in Merciless. Cassie or Randy or whomever just, deciding to ruin your world. But no, I was playing on medium.
Here, so this is what he's referencing.
Well, I was referencing that and my own.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I saw yours. Yours wasn't nearly as...
Well, I had no warning. There was no opportunity to clip anything. It was just...
Boom.
There it is.
Well, how are you going to clip it? You weren't streaming.
Well, no, you can do... I can do it with my video card drivers. Well,
okay.
Extra software that's there.
Yeah,
I never do, but...
that's a bad day right there. Jane, what are you doing? Harvesting rice. Yeah, I've carved up. I carved up part of my rice area to start planting corn.
But so the season 2, I am enjoying significantly more than season 1.
Well, I think the content, like what they hinted at that they were going to start telling it, and again, I haven't seen it yet. What they hinted at starting telling with the end of season 1, I think they were really hoping to pull back in the audience that they lost the first time around, the Trekkies. But their model just, it wasn't.
When you lose a group, when you lose your core audience in your first season, that is an uphill battle to bring anybody back.
I don't even know who this is coming to. Is this coming to me? A refugee chased at Roulette Hope. Yeah, that's me, because you're Sparks.
Yeah, I don't see it.
A deep space miner named Frieder calls you from nearby. He's being chased by Outlanders.
Oh, dude, he's 64.
64? Sorry, dude. Sorry, dude.
Those old farts are more trouble than they're worth. I mean, cataracts, asthma, heart attacks.
Mm-hmm. Just to name a few.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, the way CBS and the Roddenberrys and Paramount have acted about Star Trek is a lot like Paramount has acted with their series, the movies, the WB, the DC movies franchise.
Yeah.
They just we can just make. Well, I mean, they don't have a choice but to. But no, what I mean by that is more we can just make a movie named Superman and you will watch it. We can make a movie about Batman and you will watch it because it's Superman, it's Batman. These are unbreakable brands. And I'm sorry, but Superman was never unbreakable. None of the Superman movies were any good. None of the Superman TV shows have ever been any good. When you look at Man of Steel versus the 4 Superman movies, Man of Steel is better because it's a better made movie. You can agree to disagree about what they do with the characters, the development, the story, blah, 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 blah. If you're just talking about movie making quality, none of the 4 Superman movies prior to Man of Steel, or even Superman Returns, which was slightly better, but even that, Superman Returns, everyone forgets that was a movie. Like, oh, there's been 4 Superman movies. No, technically, there have been 7 Superman movies. Because you've got the original 4, you got Superman Returns, you got Man of Steel, and Man of Steel 2. Well, Dawn of Justice. And then, really, you have Justice League. So, 8. There have been 8 movies featuring the Superman character.
Yeah.
Yeah. There should be a door on that side. If there's going to be a door anywhere, it should be on that side. So yeah, for me, they've always botched that one. And DC has never been the unbreakable. They're not Star Wars, who you can release an extremely controversial chapter of your movie, and it will get panned universally, and then it'll still make a crap ton of money. And having heard what I just said, most people are going to think I'm talking about The Last Jedi. I'm actually not. I'm talking about Empire Strikes Back, which was universally disliked when it first came out. And if you account for inflation, when you adjust for inflation, it's still in the top 15 movies all time made. And when you ask fans which of the original 3 they liked, almost all of them say, I have a real love for the first one because, duh, it was the first one. Makes sense. But when you're looking at the whole series, almost everybody picks the second movie as their favorite and the best one of the series.
See, that's funny is because I'm not really a Star Wars fan, and my least favorite was the second one.
The original Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, we're not
the second one.
Yeah, the one where they had the ice planet and the cloud planet, and the swamp planet. Yeah. But when you're talking about it, it was like, so you have the first one, which it's big. So, yeah, joy. It's this brand new thing, and it's made so much money. Yeah, it did. But when you talk about story writing, the second one was better. And the third one was Muppets in Space. And we all know how well that did. Look at Farscape. Farscape was so under the radar that...
I loved Farscape.
I did too. But Farscape was so far under the radar that Sci-Fi canceled it, not realizing that it had a huge following under the radar.
Because they never do that.
Never. Because it wasn't making Stargate. It wasn't getting Stargate numbers. Or Battlestar Galactica numbers. It wasn't getting those numbers, so they just canceled it.
In general, as an adult, I've not been a fan of broadcast television series.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for a broadcast television series to come around for me to enjoy. It always feels like they just chase the lowest common denominator in storytelling, in story writing, in acting, in production quality. It's like not even stuff that comes down to numbers, because Netflix showed that you could pay, really highly trained, good actors a small amount of money if they're not big stars.
Yeah.
Broadcast television is so...
Well, honestly,
politics.
All of every studio tries that. They always want to find, rather than pay people who can do something, because then you'd have to pay them, and you have to pay them in perpetuity. Go for someone who's too dumb to know any better, and just wants their break, and get them to do it, because then you don't have to. Even if you do get a smash hit success, and you have to pay them forever, you're not paying them that much because they didn't know any better. They couldn't argue for a better end of the stick because they were a nobody and they just wanted in the door. There's a reason why things like the Screen Actors Guild and stuff like that exist, because movie studios have been doing that since movie studios started making movies. As soon as you get big enough that we have to pay you a fortune to keep you in there, unless we know you're going to make your name is going to bring a massive amount of money in just because we put your name on it, we're not going to pay you. We're going to find someone else to do your job for you. And they still do that. There's a reason why people don't realize how many movies are released every year. In 2018, 875 movies were released, like major releases that classify as 875 movies. You want to know why I know that number? Because I was listening to somebody complain about the max how many movies were superhero or Star Wars. So they're sick of it. It's always superhero or Star Wars. 875 movies were released in 2018.
Yeah,
less than 8 of those, or less than 10. I think it was 8 actually on the nose. 8 of those, maybe 9, were superhero or Star Wars. That's less than 1%. And it has always been that rate. You're like, oh, it's just so much more now. It's like, no, you're just not remembering correctly. Remember the 90s and all those horrible Batman movies? And then we had the X-Men movies, and then the Spider-Man movies. And then Marvel came along and decided, with Disney, and decided to start doing all these other things. It hasn't really ever changed, not since Superman came out in 1979. Or 77, 78, I can't remember. They did them back to back. It was 78, 79, that's what it was. Since Superman came out in 78, we have had nonstop a steady flow of superhero movies, and it hasn't necessarily gone up in terms of how many. There have been ebbs and flows, and sure, if you want to look at that, there's definitely more on the back half than the front half with Marvel, and with the MCU, definitely more on the back half than the front half, but it's still not that large. And say what you will, but I can promise you, the nerds of the world did not push Endgame to $2.3 billion in less than 10 days. There's a lot of people going to see that who are complaining about the fact that the only thing they have to go watch is a superhero movie. I'll bet you I know what kind of show really gets on your nerves now. Standard 3-camera laugh track comedy.
Generally, yeah. I don't watch most comedies. I can stomach. What is the one with the Big Bang Theory? I can stomach How I Met Your Mother, but in general, yeah, I don't watch them. Which is, I guess, Jane the Virgin is like that, right?
No, Jane the Virgin is more telenovela.
Oh, okay. Well, in my head, Jane the Virgin, just by that title, that's what it would be. So I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, it's more like telenovela. So think funny, like very intentionally funny daytime television from Latin America.
Oh
like it is intentionally over the top, ridiculous, and I have encountered very few shows that are as good at breaking the fourth wall as that narrator is in Jane the Virgin. Community accomplished it pretty well also. But I don't think Community had a laugh track. I also don't think it was the standard 3-camera.
No, I watched Community. I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it enough to pursue like finishing the series.
Oh yeah, when they went to the season when they went to Yahoo was just garbage. When Yahoo brought them back for a 6th season, I don't even remember what they did with the 5th season.
6th season, dude.
Yeah.
I watched like a season and a half, maybe 2.
Well, see, the thing is, after season 2, the Russo brothers left it. And the Russo brothers, I think, had more of an effect on how good that show was than people realized at the time, because they left to go start making movies, because they did those paintball episodes of Community, which were so good, and it kind of clued them in that they were better. They could do that. Like, hey, this is a thing. We can do this. We should go make money doing this. And that's when Marvel picked them up. But even then, I mean, I think Winter Soldier did well, but I don't remember. I think it was a combination of they needed Winter Soldier to do really well, like it did, and they needed Ultron, while it did well financially, particularly globally. I mean, it set records. It faced a lot more criticism, and they needed the fallout with Joss Whedon before Marvel was willing to say, let's hand the reins of the franchise over to the Russo brothers in terms of directing. And even then, all they did was direct the last Captain America movie and then the 2 final Avengers movies. They didn't do Black Panther, although they did talk to the people in Black Panther when they were filming the end of Civil War, because they wanted to get the look and feel of the stinger scene that they had right. Saving. And back. Hi.
See you soon, Mel.
We may.
Should be right back.
Well, it's just about time to.
He or she. Yeah.
Well, we started a little late, so I'll go a little longer, but it is just about time for us to wrap this. I got things to do.
It was, of course, nap time for me.
It's always nap time for you. What are you talking about?
Yeah. If my eyes are open, it's nap time.
Exactly. Let's have it go here. There. I need more trees cut. Darn it. Give me some more wood.
You want wood?
Said I need it for my colony.
Your colonists need wood.
Specifically, my female colonists, because they're the ones going out to cut all the trees. Although it's my male colonist that has to build the stuff, so.
Going to get wood, but your males use it.
Mm-hmm. Who's building what? Oh, Michael's building a chair. It's like, who's wasting wood on something that's not what I need it built? But I guess that chair was already started. Can't really complain about that one now, can I? I mean, I could, but I won't. Well, hey, guess what we didn't have today?
That one D word.
Mm-hmm, that thing.
It's not wood.
Yeah, that thing. We didn't have that.
Yep.
So one thing I will do after I have to get back to work. I want to wrap this up. This stupid cut that I'm on. Oh my goodness. Oh. I thought it was bad when 2 people couldn't shut up to let the other person talk. Now there's 3 of them. With two of them on the same speakerphone. Oh. And they don't actually realize that they think, okay, so you put the phone down on the table in front of them. Oh, he must be able to hear me. So I'm going to lean back. I'm going to look down at the floor. I'm going to lean over that direction. So it's all kinds of things that change your... I think something, one of those, you know how they have those classes that you take that teach you like important like skills, like life skills, like, I don't know, accounting. Well, no, you know what I mean. The classes that you took that taught you how to balance a checkbook and things like that. I think they really, 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 really need to include in there how to properly speak into a microphone, because we do it all the time. Either we're talking into a microphone like this, or we're talking into a microphone on a device. But we are constantly speaking into a microphone. But nobody understands how to do it.
With my setup, I'm really lucky with just the software I use, the preamp that I use, and the microphone I use. I can have my microphone, half an arm's length away, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, see, I don't know what the difference is for you in terms of when we're just having our random conversations or not on stream, because on stream I've got the microphone right in front of me. But when I'm working, often a microphone is about a foot from my mouth, pushed out of the way while I'm working. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's as much as a foot and a half away, and it's above my head, pointing down at me. So I don't know what the difference is.
Well, if you're using a USB mic,
yeah.
Okay, so back up. If you're not using a preamp, then you have drivers built for Windows controlling everything.
We all know how great that is.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sometimes you'll cut out really bad, sometimes you won't. It's very inconsistent.
Inconsistent. You just described Microsoft Windows. Yeah, I've considered switching to a setup where I use a preamp. It's one of those. There's just so many requirements on my budget right now that I can't justify it. Like there's this list of stuff and it's ranked.
Yep.
And this is the process that what I have works for the stream and it works for business calls. Mm-hmm. If the only requirement of me is that when I'm having my random, I'm just hanging out with my friend while we both do separate things, but we're talking via this microphone. If I just have to,
it's unnecessary. Completely unnecessary.
Yeah, it's not. If we were doing other kinds of work, I would probably consider. Like if I was doing voice work, I would definitely have more of a sound studio setup, and I would not rely on a USB microphone.
And that's why I did it in the first place, because in my head I was, narrate your book for you, but we saw how well that worked out.
Well, it's okay.
Months to do a couple chapters.
It's okay. We don't hold that against you. Remember, you did some, right?
Yeah. And then I think it was a much better quality anyway with Audible having picked it up.
Yeah, no duh.
Like, that's a given.
Yeah, speaking of, I may have to actually do another change to my schedule starting next week.
Just so you can get more edit time in.
I think, honestly, that if I'm going to be doing this video game project, I'm going to need to make use of the time that I have earlier in the day when I can be a little bit more focused. Because the later the day goes, the less, it doesn't matter how hard I try, the less focused I get.
Yeah, regardless of what you're doing.
Regardless of what I'm doing. And so I think that starting my day with an hour of editing / writing, but for, you know, split between the two, and then switching over to work. So I'm not sure that, you know, it's just, because I've been trying to do it where at 11 o'clock the thing goes off to remind me to write or edit something, and once I get into the workflow, it's really hard to get that done.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if I switch it around and do the writing and editing right at the beginning of the day while I'm still waking up, because editing I'm just reading through stuff. It's a lot less requirement on me. And Michelle's moving around and stuff. I mean it's feasible. It could turn out that I push off my work until after I take kiddo to the bus. But then what does that do for the stream time? So.
Well, then any pushing off is gonna.
Yeah. And there's just so many things that I have on my plate that have to be taken care of. We're moving next month. So, and I'm the stay-at-home parent now. So.
Which means there's gonna be a lot of necessity for you to be packing stuff.
Yeah. Like this evening, I'm actually loading the car up. So tomorrow morning, right when the place opens, I can be there. Although right now the gate's broken because they had a direct lightning strike.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. So, but normally it's 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. But if I can be there right at 6 a.m., go in, dump some stuff off, and then come back. But we'll see. There's just so many things. Go ahead.
For my move, I have 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, where I'm just have to have everything in a moving truck and then stay the night at my friend's house.
Yeah.
Because the apartment that I wanted didn't open up until 2 days after.
The one that you're currently on?
Yeah, I had already told them, I already gave them my exit leave date.
How much does this stupid parka need?
80 something, I think.
80. And I keep getting like different things. Like I've got light leather, pig skin, blue fur, bird skin. I'm gonna need to kill them off.
Rusty textiles that lets you rip them apart to make like patched leather.
Yeah, and I don't think we can use that one in this. No. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I'm sure there's other mods that I don't have on that list that would be good to have.
I'll look and see.
For me, I think that's a pretty good list.
Yeah.
If I'm missing something, it's probably because I'm unaware of it. I just didn't remember it.
I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to kill a muffalo because I need more blue fur. I think blue fur is the one that I'm most likely going to get. Oh man, this Timberwolf's going down. Timberwolf's going down.
You're not even hunting it. What's killing it?
Oh, bear is.
Oh!
There we go. Now, let's go get some.
Once it's, yeah.
Welcome back. We're actually just about to wrap up. We were just talking about changes to schedules and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
that was
that was something I wanted to try to have. I wanted to like have a kind of a meeting with you off stream about
and
going forward and stuff.
Is willing to come in. So I see that Jane is online.
Who? Oh, Jane. Yeah, I need to talk. I need to talk to. Because I've talked
Sean
to.
is on.
I've talked to Magnus. I've talked to Barnsey,
Magnus is way, yeah.
and I've talked to Jane. The three of them, plus you and me, and Zoe. That's 6.
Alright.
Obviously, Zoe, I would be doing it kind of with her. So we have the potential to have up to 6. So we'll see.
And of course, everybody's gonna be irritated. Probably everybody's gonna be irritated at what I do.
Yeah, that's part of the thing. But I think also I think we should it's not just the mods I want to look at, but also the scenario. Maybe put some other things onto the requirements. So we'll see. That's one of the things I want to talk about. But yeah, I wanted to talk with you about that and some other stream stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna let Rose finish this, and once she's done killing that thing and hauling it, then I'm gonna wrap for today. Well, honestly, I could just let the game keep running while I wrap up, and you can manage the 2 colonies. Yay, the Muffalo's down. I hate doing that, but I mean, it's not like I'm planning on moving. Killed the Muffalo, Rose. Killed the Muffalo. Good job. Why are you going to... Oh, I guess it's technically shorter that way. Michael, what are you doing? Going to sleep? Fine. I guess I can let you sleep. Rogelio, you won't do that. You're doing that. Jane, haul some wood. We have a ton of wood sitting out here. Cargo pods. What are you sending me? Blueberries. What is Rogelio? Oh, Rogelio's. Jane, get the blueberries.
Jane, get your gun.
So, and I think let me see. Jane is younger. Rose younger. Yeah, Abuela is definitely old enough to be the grandmother. If I can get a female, in between them, then I've got. I know. I'll name the. I'll have.
I was about to say something that's not very appropriate.
I'll have the mom.
Have a 3-generation colony.
Yes.
I was about to say a 3-way colony.
No. This is not that kind of game. This is definitely not that kind of game.
What, you don't have the polyamory mod on?
I do not have the polyamory mod on. I can confirm I do not have that. Alright, so. Jane, butcher this thing. I want to see how much leather I get from it. Oh, there's some more pigskin. Still not enough. So I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, for sure, I will be trying to. I want to continue playing Whispers of the Machine to finish it, but I kind of also want to finish the hot potato and be, because we're like 2.7 days away from launching the ship. So I think I'm gonna push Whispers of the Machine to Friday. So we'll be back with some more RimWorld tomorrow. And all of that, and it still wasn't enough. Gonna have to hunt another Muffalo. Right now she's hunting a rat.
Just slaughter one that you've already got.
No. Yes, I know they have a chance. I don't need you to tell me that. Okay. Anyway. So, let me change my scene here. So we'll be talking. You get to see my lovely mug all over your TV in full definition.
And if I'm not asleep, I'll probably be on, just not playing with. I said, and if I'm not asleep, I'll probably be on chat, but
not playing RimWorld, doing other things.
Probably playing. I don't know.
I'm trying to see who I want to host. I've been hosting Jess a lot. So there's always that option. Zelda Ann's playing Zelda. Imagine that.
Alright, while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and pause.
Yes, you do that.
You can do your thing, and I can go do my thing.
Yes. Actually, we could just save it. We could just save it.
That's true.
And exit.
I know what I need to go do?
I'm pretty sure I know what you need to do. You need to go see a man about a horse.
I do. Yeah, this is my save game is BEM.
Yes, I know.
Pretty close. Yep. All right.
So you do that. Okay, so I'm going to, we're just going to keep up a good thing. I don't see, there was one other person who I was looking at going to host, but I don't see him on right now. Of course, he would have been on from a while ago because he's been on most of the day. So we're going to go host up Wojess. So let me give her a shout out. She's playing her Lord of the Rims RimWorld. Highly recommend it. She's entertaining. She's one of the actual, like if you look up the Hot Potato is not our idea. We're actually playing the Hot Potato along with a group of 7 streamers who are playing it. Spartan Stew, whose clip I shared earlier of that anti-grain mod, he's another one of them. Here, let me mute Discord so I don't hear him talking. So, and while Jess is doing, today is not her Hot Potato Day. I think it's Thursday, but we'll go give her a follow. Yesterday, or a host. Yesterday she was near colony wipe. Near colony wipe. She had that happen to her twice. So, as I said before, I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully wrapping up, launching our ship for our Hot Potato, so we can start up a new one with bringing some other players to join us. And Thursday multiplayer, we're most likely going to go back to Endless Space 2 to continue our playthrough there. So. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the hosts earlier. Thanks for the follow, Mal. I hope your colony goes better. If you want to join the Discord, I think that was posted earlier. I'll post it one more time. You can keep up with the stream there, and we can talk in our chat there about your colony as you continue on. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.